Do you ever feel stuck in the relationship? Do you ever feel like you are stuck with a toxic person and you're not sure, what do I do? How do I get out? What am I actually dealing with? Well, you might be dealing with a trauma bond. You might be dealing with something that is very hard to understand and is very hard to break. There's countless people out there who are stuck in narcissistic relationships, sociopath, psychopath, just toxic relationships that get tied to another person, who get stuck to a point that they're not sure what is right, what is wrong, up, down, left, right. The fog is real, and you're stuck. And you're stuck in something that you feel doesn't seem like normal. Doesn't seem like anything else that you have ever been through. You might be dealing with what's called a trauma bond. If you're new here, my name is Ben Taylor. I run Raw Motivations. I'm a self-aware narcissist on this platform to provide awareness, growth, healing, and change. And I do that on a regular basis by dropping nuggets of truth on all different platforms: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And I want you to be able to follow on a couple different platforms to hear those, or to interact, or to engage with different community. Maybe you're listening today on podcasts, either on Apple or on Spotify. Thanks so much. Give us some likes, reviews, but also follow on some of the other social media platforms under Raw Motivations. Be able to check it out there. Help us as we continue to spread awareness, growth, healing, and change. We do that by doing the interactions with live events and with one-on-ones across the globe with people all over the country, trying to coach people out of the trauma bond, help them get through the rumination stage, and also figure out who they actually are. And what does that look like moving forward? How are they going to continue to grow and develop as they continue moving forward in life and clearing out the fog that's left with a narcissistic person? One of the things I wanted to tell you about today is to download the Narc App. NARC, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Community. It's a community of like-minded people that are engaged in helping other people grow, heal, and change on a day-to-day basis. You can get on there and you can ask advice of other survivors, of other people that are walking through the same stuff that you're going through. You can work on tracking your no contact, recording your truth, learning about narcissism, taking courses on boundaries, on healthy dating after abuse, on all different types of things that we're developing on a day-to-day basis. Join our weekly lives that are secured inside the app, so no matter what you're going through, you can know for sure, hey, I can ask advice, I can talk about this, and it's not getting broadcast to the world because of an active situation that's going on right now. We also have monthly coaching where either myself or coaches from around the globe actually come together and try to help better you. Try to help you as you progress, as you grow out of the narcissistic relationship, but then just with life, of how is that healing, growth, and change going to be implemented on a day-to-day basis with good habits, with good triggers, with things that are helping you live with an intentional mindset of who you are and who you want to be. Well, with the trauma bond, a lot of times people ask, like, what actually is the trauma bond? Well, if you break the word down, it's simple. If you're tied to someone, you're stuck with someone based off of trauma, not based off of love, not based off of anything else, but based off of that trauma. The trauma bond in reality is the aspect that you know in your mind, this relationship is toxic. This relationship is not helpful for me. And as a result, I think that I need to leave the relationship, but I'm not sure how. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what is going on. So you have people that they're like, I know this is toxic, but I still want to be with this person. I still want to engage with them. I still want to see them, love them, hug them, kiss them, whatever it might be. And they're like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I keep thinking about this person? Why do I keep going back? That's the idea of the trauma bond. The trauma bond is often built on the lies that we believe about the narcissist, about the toxic person in that relationship. Think of it as being like a cord or like a rope. And the narcissist will take this rope and it'll be like one lie. Maybe you're not good enough. And they take this rope as it's here and they put it over and around you and they pull back. And they pull you towards them. And that's that bond. And over a period of time, they start putting more ropes around you, more ropes. And they start pulling you tighter and tighter and closer to them. All the time, all those lies are tightening you and bringing you close to the narcissist. You're not good enough. No one's going to ever love you. Like, you're too ugly, you're too fat, you're too young, you're too old, like all different types of things that they'll put around you to trap you in that relationship. And that bond can't be broken by just flexing and just like walking away. Oftentimes that bond has to be broken piece by piece, getting rid of the lies that the other person has put upon you. With the trauma bond, it's based on a couple different things. What I normally talk about is hope and potential and cognitive dissonance. Hope and potential for you is the idea of like, I'm hoping that this person is going to get it. Like, I'm hoping they're going to understand the hurt that's been caused to me by their actions. I hope that they're going to see the things that they've done and that they'll get changed and they'll heal and that they'll work through it. And then a lot of times people hold on to the idea of potential of like, but I saw this in the beginning. I saw how good he was. I saw how great she was. I saw all these attributes that I thought maybe they will continue forward and be the person that I saw that they were going to be. And that hope and potential will sometimes keep people stuck in a relationship longer than what they should because they're thinking maybe this will change. Maybe this will happen. And they hold out longer and longer, hoping while the narcissist continues to future fake and drag them forward, breadcrumbing, thinking maybe this will change, and it never does. All that it does is it keeps locking them into that relationship. The other thing that builds the aspect of the trauma bond is cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the idea of holding two opposing thoughts inside your head. For a narcissist, what that is exemplified as is my actions not matching up my words. And so from looking from the outside in, you're like, wait a second, like, I don't get it because this doesn't match up. Like, I don't understand what's actually happening. You say that you love me, but then your actions don't demonstrate that love. So when we put it into a romantic relationship, think of it this way. It's as the narcissist comes into your life, they slap you across the face and then they say, I love you. Then they slap you across the face, then they say, I love you. Then they slap you across the face, then they say, I love you. Then they slap you across the face, then they say, I love you. Over a period of time, those two warring thoughts, I love you and hitting you, start becoming something in your mind that normally establishes one or two or more of three things. Either one, this is what love is. This abusive action is what love is. Or two, this is all that love is cracked up to be, or all that I'm going to get, or all that I'm worth. Or three, I have to go through the pain in order to get the love. See, this cognitive dissonance, this hope, this potential, all of these a lot of times come together, sometimes intermingle, and give the person the idea of maybe this will happen, maybe I should stay a little bit longer. It messes with the mind, it messes with the head, and even if a person is out of the relationship, a lot of times they're still not free. And they're still not able to break free because that freedom doesn't start with just leaving. That freedom also comes in the mind. And if someone's not able to work through that freedom and get to the place where they understand what is true and they see what is actually there, then they're not able to get free. Seeing what's actually there is very crucial and very important for growing in this relationship to get to the place of understanding, hey, I don't need this person to validate me anymore or to abuse me anymore. Seeing what is there is really important. And first off, I normally talk about people living in truth. What is the truth of the situation? Like, how does this actually break down? Does this actually make sense? How is this person treating you? Use questions that are going to prompt this thought process on a different level, using the word demonstrate. How did this person demonstrate care, demonstrate kindness, demonstrate love, demonstrate respect, demonstrate faithfulness? And as people start realizing, like, wait a second, like, I'm pulling back from some of the stuff I believed and I'm starting to question it, and I start to realize the words didn't match up, and people have to understand the difference. The second thing that a lot of times I talk to people about is realizing that triggers control you. The trigger from the narcissist is typically going to activate something that is going to make you either react or is going to make you write a story. And the story that you write in your head is the one that keeps you stuck. Because again, I said that freedom comes from your mind. It doesn't come from just breaking the bonds and getting out. It also comes from your mind. There's a lot of people that are out of narcissistic relationships that are still not free. Because it's not enough just to know all about it and to have all the information. If you don't know how to put the puzzle together, it doesn't matter if you have all the puzzle pieces. And so for people to understand, hey, I need to acknowledge truth. I need to understand that triggers control me. And I need to understand that I have to rewire my mind in order to be free. That comes down to the story that you're telling yourself. So we all tell stories. We all are made up of stories, whether that's stories from our upbringing, from early childhood development, from our religion, or from our education, or from previous partners, or from friends, or whatever it might be. But we write our own stories. And the thing is, when you get into a narcissistic relationship and the cognitive dissonance, the hope, potential, the future faking, the gaslighting, everything starts to confuse people. And you get to the place that you start telling yourself a story that's not actually real. That's the point of getting back to the truth, understanding that those triggers control that and start taking you down the path to get to that story. And then you have to rewire your mindset in order to understand the story I'm believing is not true. And that's what keeps people in the fog, because they believe something that's not 100% true. And as a result, they stay with a person longer than they should. What I try to coach people and like work the process through, because everybody's story is completely different, is to work them through this process so they understand how to rewire their mindset, how to change what they're looking at, how to live in an aspect of truth, and start to get rid of the fog so they can have that healing, growth, and change on a day-to-day basis so they can be happy, healthy, and whole as they look forward. And as they move forward in life, figuring out who they are, how they're going to live, what boundaries they're going to set, and how are they going to stay the course so they don't get with a toxic person and they don't go back to a toxic person either. If that's you today and you'd like to talk, would love to talk to you more about trauma bond, how to break it, how to figure out your story, reach out down below or go to rawmotivations.com to be able to talk to you for more.